Hey guys, so I know it's been a while since I've talked about Dead Rising, and that's mostly because I've been trying to move my channel into a different direction from a game that's not dead. But I recently saw this article talking about the new update that they added to the game, and it made me want to quickly talk about this because I am not a huge fan of this update, and I also wanted to give you guys my updated thoughts on the game after having time to play it since reviewing it. There's just so much that they've done for this remake that has continued to ruin everything that the original developers tried to do with this game, and it makes me really worried about any possible future installments that they might decide to do for this. But before we get into that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on my future videos that release, and also don't forget to comment your thoughts down below. But with that out of the way, let's get into it. So for the month of November, Dead Rising finally got a physical release on disc, and since its release, Capcom has continued to update the game. And honestly, since completing it 100%, even with like the trophies and the leveling and all that, I have no reason to go back and play this. But my thoughts have changed a lot since its release. I mean, I'm sure you guys probably watched my Dead Rising review video, but I wasn't a huge fan when it came out, and I still don't think it's better than the OG, and the game still has been drastically filtered, whether it's the censorship or the lack of blood from killing zombies. Recently, actually, the YouTube channel Crobat recently posted a video showing off all of the downgrades that this game has, and it makes me sad to see this. And honestly, this is probably what the future of the franchise looks like if they keep making remakes. I guarantee it's going to follow the same censorship and AI-generated items and map design. But to be completely honest about my thoughts on the game now, I would definitely say I have gone from unfavorable to somewhat favorable. And I have always been a huge supporter of the Dead Rising games, and I just hope that they let this franchise drift peacefully off in its sleep. Especially if they plan on doing the same thing they did with the Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster with the Dead Rising 2 remake. And again, I really tried to like this game, but watching every creative decision they've had since the game's release has made me like the game even less, and that's my segue into this next part. I want to talk about some of the things that they've put in the game since its release, especially with this November update. So with this November update, they just added a casual difficulty to the game for some reason, as if the game wasn't already easy with time skip, psychopath downgrades, zombie horde downgrades, weapon downgrades. There's just so much that was already easy about this game, and adding a casual difficulty just doesn't make any sense to me. I honestly stop and wonder why they keep making this game so brain-rottingly easy. This casual difficulty makes it easy to level up, learn moves, upgrade your inventory space at an even faster rate, and this casual level does not impact achievements, which actually pisses me off because I went through the trouble of getting all of these achievements just to have a casual difficulty release to make it even easier. This is basically just spitting in the face of the audience that complained that the game was already too easy, and for some reason they added this and made it even easier. I feel like Capcom just doesn't know their audience at all at this point. The reason we played this game was for the challenge and for the difficulty. I went back and played the original game recently, and God, I miss that game so much. This deluxe remaster feels like a demake, like Crobat would say. It feels like a completely new game and not in a fun way. The game was fun for what it was in the beginning, but if they're going to continue to add nonsense updates like this, they are better off just fixing the glitches and leaving it at that. The next thing they've added is more language support, which I'm totally fine with because I think the game should be accessible to people that maybe don't understand English or any of the other languages that are in the preset for the game. My only real issue is with the casual difficulty, because I can't think of one person that has said that this remake or remaster is too hard. This does not bode well for the future of the franchise, like I've mentioned before. And if they plan on going this route with their future remakes, I hope that they just stop. I hope they stop making them. Because even though I am happy that this game is finally getting the love that it deserves, they have basically ruined anything that has made this game great, or what the legacy of this franchise has left behind. Unfortunately, we'll just have to remember the franchise for what it was and just continue to enjoy the memories of the OG games through the remasters they did in 2018. At this point, I would just rather go back and play the remasters, because at least the remasters are the closest thing that you can get to the original games. I mean, and even the remasters have improved controls and graphics, so it's the closest thing we can get at this point. Because I feel like anything else that they do in the future for this franchise is just going to tank it. And they're basically just isolating all of the people that grew up with this franchise, and they grew up enjoying this franchise and supporting this franchise. It's basically the same thing that Dead Rising 4 did to its audience. It's really a shame. It really is. And I really feel bad for the new people coming to this franchise that won't be able to experience the game the way that we experienced it back in the old days of gaming, without having to go back and play a version of the game that has very dated controls and graphics. This November update just makes me sad to be a fan of this franchise. I just had to come on here and vent my frustration, because I'm sure that most of you don't care about this update, or maybe you stopped playing after you maxed your level out and or getting all the achievements, but it just makes me disappointed. I was so excited for this game, and all I got was a passionless remake. It just feels like a smack in the face. I should have listened to the people that predicted that this was going to happen back when I made my Dead Rising announcement, but I don't know, man. That's all I really have to say about this. Again, I really am just trying to get away from this franchise, because, I mean, it's dead in the water. I doubt Capcom is going to do any kind of update to the franchise, at least for the next 4 or 5 years. I doubt they're going to do anything with this, especially with Resident Evil on the horizon. I feel like they're going to be so busy with Resident Evil that Dead Rising is definitely going to take a backseat at this point. But yeah, that's going to be it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and comment your thoughts down below. Do you guys think Capcom should have just let this franchise die in peace, or do you agree that the casual difficulty setting is necessary? Just let me know down below. Again, I just want to thank you guys all for watching. I really appreciate you, and have a good night.